I can just say new site, and I can actually browse a whole gallery of sites that people have made that you can use as a site in the it's coming up, I hope. So here I can come in and I can look at the featured sites. And if I wanted to be like a project wiki or a professional template, people have designed these sites, and out of the box you can use their model and then just fill in what you want. That's essentially sort of what I did with the tip site. We had a tip site for our pilot group, and then when we felt like we needed to sort of reorganize it, I went out and I found, actually someone shared it with me. They said, here's a, sort of our tip site. So I went and I sort of structured the framework and I changed the frequently asked questions. But they had all the cute little icons. I didn't have to go and figure out how to make that icon. And this is the same. So here's a site where you can just start plugging in the name of your organization. You can't really see the white, but there's white lettering, so you can change that if you need it a little darker. But essentially, the site is done. You just say create site, fill in what you need, and you have a site in about five minutes. My husband's site, I looked at a site that was like a construction site. So I modeled it, but then I took a background image they had taken when they were on one of those tall buildings on Pennsylvania Avenue, and I laid that in the background so you can see the clock on Pennsylvania Avenue. They were being like lifted up in one of those little chair things. I modeled the site based on what I saw this other construction site, but they were building, there were houses, and he's roofing. So I wanted to make sure that it represented their company, not another one. But here's like a video of the work they've done. So I posted that on YouTube, and I was able to share it on the site. So different marketing avenues. This is a public site. So you can have within your domain public and private. You're not limited to have only public, only private. You can also put Google Analytics on your site to track metrics and stuff. So it has a lot of options for the sites.
I have a question about sharing documents. This might be kind of obvious, but I'm presuming there's some kind of administrator. You can opt to have control over whether something's editable or read-only. So if you're working on an important project and you've got a final doc or proposal or something, then you can't have, it's not totally wiki-like. You can opt to have people not mess with it. Okay.
Yeah, and we have indicated to Google they need a little more granularity on their document sharing and their site sharing. Right now on their sites, they have, if you create the site, you're an owner. Then you can assign more than one person to be an owner of a site, but they have owners, collaborators, and viewers. But if they're not a collaborator, they can't put a comment on like a discussion forum that you might put on your site. But if you make them a collaborator, then they can edit any page. And we've been talking to Google about whether they should allow you to be able to comment without being able to edit a page, that you can have a little more. So there is a new release coming soon. Also, Google works a little better in Firefox or Chrome than it does in IE. And it works fine in Safari. It also, that was partly, we picked stuff at Geographic that's cross-platform. IE hasn't kept up with some of the functionality of Java and I think HTML, I don't know what version it is, but there's certain standards right now with HTML, and IE can't quite present things as well. So we've actually switched most of the company to more of Firefox or Safari or Chrome. Some people are using Chrome too.
Did you say that you have to, so pardon my ignorance, but if you wanted to play with this, so you would have to first get a domain before you could?
No, you could take out just a site under your Google account. Like if you took a Google consumer account out, which may mean that you have Gmail, it may not. Yeah. If you take Gmail out, you already have the Google account, and you can add a site to that service. So if you're on Google, it's just sites.google.com. So if you go to sites.google.com, it's asking me who I want to add this site under. And if I don't have, it's asking me for Karen at cybersailors.org since I was signed in there. But I can actually pick one of my Gmail accounts to assign it to as well. So I have a Gmail account, but I also have a Google Apps account. Yeah, but if you go to sites.google.com, that'll actually just take you to the consumer product to be able to add it to your account. So for example, let me just go to my,
But then how could you can still do public and private portions of it that way?
I don't know if on the, I think so. I think it's the same. So here I'm on my Gmail account. So it's kh.tangent@gmail.com.
Actually, I think I have one of these. It's just really old.
Yeah. And you can even change it. You know, if you don't like your Gmail name, you can change it. But so if I'm here under my Gmail account, let me see if I can. So let's say I'm on Gmail. And I'm going to go to my settings. Accounts. So if I go to the Google account settings, this shows all the services that I have turned on just to my Google account. Anyone who has a Gmail account has a Google account because this is just part of your Google account. So Sites is one of the, right here, is one of the services I added to Google. And you can create a, I just haven't because I didn't want it tied to my Gmail. But you get a page like this, and then you can create a site. And it shows you a similar, I would be pretty sure that it would allow you to control access. Like you can make it private or public. Because we have found that Google, and this was one of our complaints at Geographic, is they keep releasing stuff to the Google Apps business people who have paid for an account. Similar things that they release to the consumer side as well. And things don't always, it's like they haven't tested the stuff when they release it to the Google Apps group. So that they send us out of our domain, which is a problem for business. Like if we want our users to stay within the NGS.org domain, they shouldn't be sending them to a Gmail service. And so that's been some of our complaints. So even in IT, we're happy with it. I mean, it's a solution we picked, but there are some, like with any group you work with, you have to speak your mind. And Google seems willing to listen, so we keep speaking our mind when we don't like something.